Hey, Jaya. Jaya, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like I joined in a different meeting.
Yeah, even I joined at the right time, but I think I was waiting for you.
Oh, okay. Okay. So now what we did from today onwards, we are going to work on our own labs. Okay. And we do have a couple of files like the source system as a file, and we do have like some data which we supposed to load into our tables. So how many different kind of sources now? Two kind of sources. One is flat files, other one is relational objects. Okay, so what is the difference? Flat file means it's just like a file, normal regular files. Okay, can you go to the lab files, open that lab files folder? Lab files, open that. Now whatever is there under flat files, those are the flat files information. Okay, there are a couple of files, and source script, target script. These are the two scripts which are used to build your tables, not to build the tables, but to build the data. Okay, within the tables. Now, can you open any one of them? Source script or target script? First, try to understand the data. I mean, the scripts, what exactly they mentioned. Okay, basically they are trying to create a tables, and then they are creating the data. We'll see one by one. Right click. Is it opening or? Oh,
Yeah.
it's directly opening SQL Developer. That's good. Okay, can you go to your desktop? Same, I mean, VM virtual machine desktop. Yeah, I want to see like what are the other tools are there. No, not here. Not here. In the same window where you open that query, right? Yes. Minimize everything. No, not here. Oh, yeah. In the, yes, there. Go to desktop there. You can see desktop, right? No, not there. Not there.
Okay.
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 Can you do one thing? Can you give me control? It'll be easy. I just want to see like, I want to see like, look around how it is there. Then, okay. So basically Toad is a kind of a better option to write your SQLs. So I don't know why it is taking a long time, your SQL developer, but that's okay. Perfect. So now you have Scott. Basically they created the Scott. I mean, Scott is a kind of a default one, no need to create anything, but let's see.
Default means?
It comes along with your Oracle. It's a default schema in Oracle. All these tables also kind of a default tables. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
When you install it, by default, you get this, right?
exactly, by default, you will get these tables and this schema. You need not to do anything. Okay. But what we are trying to do, sometimes we are trying to create our own schemas, like Oracle underscore source, Oracle underscore target. So even now also, I would like to do the same thing. I would like to create a new schema. Or I can say connection. Okay, now Oracle underscore source. Save the password. But we didn't created this. Maybe we need to create that one first. Okay. Let's go to your desktop. We need to have that prompt. So go to start. Now show user. Okay, right now it's not connected to anything. So connect system/system or show user connect sys as sys dba admin. Perfect. Show user. Now what I'm trying to do is like I'm trying to log in as a super user, like an admin. Now I'm trying to create two schemas. Create user Oracle underscore src identified by Oracle underscore src. Grant, I'm giving DBA privileges to this specific schema. Now create, same thing I'm creating for a target. Even we did this last time, right?
Yeah. DBA privilege means you're giving access to this database.
No, basically what I'm trying to do is like for every schema, there will be a couple of actions you can perform. So on the schema itself, I'm giving a kind of a DBA privilege. If you are logging with into this schema, right, you can perform like all the DBA activities on this one. So whenever you log in into the database with Oracle underscore target, then you'll have like all privileges on those things.
Okay.
Now I created two schemas. Let's go now and see. Status success. So save this, connect. Okay. Now, if you look at the tables, I don't have any tables in this. Can you see this? Now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create one more connection. That is target. Success. So I saved this and now connect. Now I connected to, you can see this here, like on which schema you're in right now.
Okay.
So I would like to go to Oracle underscore source. First, I need to build my source tables. For that, go to your folder, wherever your lab content is there, open those files, lab files. In this, I have a source script. I believe we already opened this file by using Oracle Developer, right? So let's see. source underscore script. Now what I'm doing is I'm trying to connect to the Oracle underscore source now. So if you look at these commands, there are like a different kind of a commands here. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to execute these commands on Oracle underscore source. What are these commands? Basically, we are trying to drop the existing tables if there are any tables on this thing. And I'm trying to assign the date format. Basically, I'm trying to build my own database now. Okay, my own tables, my own my own model, database model I'm trying to build. There are so many tables like dealership table, product cost table, product table. Okay, so and I'm adding like a couple of constraints. Okay, and then I'm inserting the data into this. So there are so many things like they're already pre-built. So you need to do anything, just you need to execute them. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Once you execute that, then you are going to create the data. Then I will explain one or two. Then you will understand. Basically, these are the things you are going to learn from your Oracle classes. Basically, what it's saying, the role or user SDBU does not exist. Means there is no specific user called SDBU. Normally in the organizations, your name will be you will be given a specific ID like XYZ. So what I'm doing, I'm giving an access for this XYZ user. For example, if it is a Krishna, so grant resource privileges to SDBU or grant resource permissions to Krishna. Then what's going to happen is for this SDBU user, you are going to allocate some kind of a table space, some kind of permissions, everything. So resource is a kind of a permission. Okay. So right now SDBU user itself not available. So I don't need to do anything for that user because it's not in the real time, right? So here in our missions, we are only the persons, we are the users. And moreover, I gave already DBA permissions on this user on a high level. Okay, I needed to do anything. So what this command will do, drop table. Basically, this will drop the table if it is available. Right now, I don't have any tables. It's basically plain schema. There are no tables in this thing. So no need to write and execute this drop also. Now, the next thing is create. Means I'm creating a table. So this is a syntax basically. Create table. Table name is a product. And product ID, group ID are the column names. Now I'm creating this table. So you can see table product created. Okay. Same way, I need to create another table, dealership. Dealership created. Now create the rest of the tables also, like product cost. In real time, you are not going to do this thing. Okay. Your DBA will do this. So no need to worry. But you need to understand what are these commands and everything. And we are making sure you are going to learn these things in your SQL. Okay. Basically, these are called like a DML, DDL commands. Okay. So now I am creating a primary key based on a product ID on product table. In the dealership table also, I'm creating another primary key.
Okay.
You remember we got this issue when we are executing on those tables, primary key issues. First time when we ran our job by using employee table, our table got failed because of these primary key issues. So here I'm creating a foreign key. Basically, primary key, foreign key comes under referential integrity. So what is the referential integrity? If you want to create a relation between these two tables, then you're supposed to create the referential integrity by creating a primary key, foreign key relationships. Basically, what exactly is doing is product in the product table, I am creating the product ID as a foreign key, but the same product ID, okay, is a kind of a primary key in product cost table. But the name might be different, product code. Okay, here is a product ID, but here is a product code, but still both are primary key and foreign keys. Now I am trying to insert the records. Okay, this is a record. See the syntax. Insert into product cost values. Okay. Can you see one row inserted?
Yeah.
Like that, I'm going to execute the whole record set. Okay. Now I'm loading product table. Even you won't do this thing. Okay. Remember, your DBA will do it. As this is your own mission, so you are doing, you are taking like all the responsibilities. If you want to practice, you can practice by creating another schema. Okay.
So you created two different schemas, right? Oracle source and Oracle target.
Exactly. See, I created two schemas. Okay. And I'm creating couple of tables in my source. Now I'm going for my target. Even I need to have a target structure, right? So
you created, right?
I already created. I am going to target schema. Now I went to target schema. So now what I want to do is, I'm closing this now, the source script. Okay. Now I'm opening the target one. Now this is a target one.
Okay.
All the target tables. Okay. Make sure you connect it to the right schema.
Yeah.
Okay. I need not to drop anything because there are no tables at all. Why I need to drop it? Already have it, then drop. That makes sense, but no tables, right? So no need to drop anything. Same thing. Creating a table, adding a primary key, creating a table, adding a primary key. Okay. So doing the same thing for each and every table. There are so many tables. I'm executing all of them in one shot. Okay. So everything got created now. Now, can you do one thing today? Can you do it on your own? Go to Informatica. Can you able to do it, or do you want me to do that today?
What should I do?
Now go to Informatica, get these structures.
Oh, all this this SQL was from Informatica, right?
No. Basically, this SQL is not from Informatica. This SQL is from the Oracle. Now, what we did is, the step 1, we build the tables. Step 2, we build the data. Step 3, we create the target structures. Now, we only built the source and target structures.
Yeah.
Now, we need to go to the Informatica.
Okay.
You didn't even open your designer, right? Did you open any Informatica till now? No. This is the Oracle client tool. Basically, it's a database client tool. Even in the database also, you have a client and server. So till now, we are just executing our commands on SQL. I mean, the SQL prompt. But this prompt is a kind of an Oracle client, where you can see the data, or like the tables, or like the views, everything. If you look at it on the left side, you can see like the tables, indexes, packages, everything related to your database. Okay. So now you are going into Informatica. Can you go to the designer now? Go to start.
Yeah, but we can connect this Oracle database to the Informatica, right?
That's what I'm asking to do now.
Oh,
okay.
you're right.
Yeah, what I'm asking is, last time we did this 2 times or 3 times, right? Now we need to repeat the same thing. Go to Informatica. Let me do it. Okay. Now my Oracle part is done.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'll come to those flat files later. Till now we are working like this on this command line prompt. Okay. Maybe that was in a white color, but ultimately we never connected to this kind of a Oracle tools. Even this is another client for Oracle to execute your queries.
Okay.
Okay. So there are different kind of a prompts. So you have different kind of things to
So
execute.
we didn't connect to the Oracle database in this Informatica, right?
No, not it. That's what we need to connect now.
Oh.
Because we need to use those drivers and we need to connect it now.
Mm-hmm.
Till now, you are in only Oracle.
Okay.
He already created a repository. So even he created a folder. Looks like he created even a schema. He already created some drivers, I believe. That's okay. We'll go from scratch, okay? Anyway, he created a folder, right? Do you want to use this folder or you want to create your own folder? Let's create your own folder, okay? Now, I'm creating a folder. So what I'm doing is, okay, in real time, you will have like this. Maybe first your application name will be there. So our application name will be, let's take VLRN, okay? Underscore, you have any JYR. Maybe this is your kind of a employee ID or something, whatever it is, okay? Employee code. This is how your folder looks like. First, the application name, and it ends with your individual alias. Normally, we'll call it as an alias. In some other companies, you might call it as an ID or something, whatever it is. To expand this thing, my application name is a VLAN, and the user who is working on this thing is JRD. Okay, that is what the intention of this thing. So, if anyone looks at this folder, right, they need to understand, oh, the last 3 letters are the user alias or the user last name or something. The first one is application. Like this, in the same VRSoft repository, you may have like a hundreds or like a thousands of users. Okay, so just a sec. So there could be hundreds of users or like in couple of applications. So each application will have its own name. Like this, you may have like ABCD underscore XYZ, like VR604. But you will have access. The people who are working in your application, they are restricted only for this folder. They cannot enter into this folder. Okay, so that's how the access will be provided. But anyway, right now, what we are trying to do is we are trying to perform our operations on VLAN JYR. Okay. Now, open this folder. Okay, anyway, you are in the repository manager. I created my folder. That's it. My task was done. Now, exit. Go back to your designer. Okay, now, whenever if you want to see the latest ones, whatever the changes are done, if you want to see the refreshed ones or latest changes, you have to disconnect and reconnect. Now you can see it, right? Open this. Now, this is what your world. Whatever you do here, that metadata will be stored over here. Okay, now go to sources, import from database. I'm not sure, like looks like he already created the driver, Oracle in XC. Okay, earlier we used to create these drivers, you remember?
Yeah.
Last time we created a wrong driver and we faced a lot of issues. So the same way, he already created, I need not to do it again.
Okay.
The real time also it will be same. Someone will created that and even they will created your username too.
Oh, is it? Okay.
So just you need to connect. I am connected to Oracle source. Okay, that is what the schema, your DBA got created. Or like in this scenario, I created that, but in real time, your DBA will create. So,
what is that? Oracle schema. Okay.
Whatever the schema, these schemas. Okay,
Username.
yes. Basically, it's a username. The username also same, and the schema also same. That's why I'm calling it as a schema. Basically, what I am doing is in the database, I created some kind of a partition and I created a user to connect to that partition. That is what I did basically. And I gave his username as Oracle underscore source. Okay. You understand that?
No.
Okay. What I did is in database, I created some space. Okay. I occupied some space. Then what I'm saying, this space is only limited or this space is only restricted for Oracle underscore source user.
Okay.
No one can enter into this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the same way, Oracle underscore target also, no one can enter into that. That space is allocated only for few tables, whatever I'm going to work on it.
Okay.
If someone else wants to access them, they need to have a proper privilege to access it.
Okay.
That's the reason I separated my source and my target in the same database.
Mm-hmm.
But how can I access that space? That's the reason I created this username and password for that.
Okay.
Okay. When I log into that, I am logging into my own space with Oracle underscore source as a user.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I can see my own tables here.
Mm-hmm.
For now, I am taking all of these tables. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is a one-time activity. I am taking all of them. Okay. Now I got my tables. Now, same way, I need to take my target too. No need to worry on the driver on your data source.
Okay.
Just need to worry about your schema. Right now, I am connecting to Oracle underscore target. Even now, I'm taking all of the tables into my Informatica. Normally, you will take one by one. Whatever the table is required, you will take it. But anyway, I don't want to do again and again. So I'm taking all the tables, whatever is there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now it will create all these tables into my target.
Mm-hmm.
So step one, I created two users, two schemas, Oracle underscore source, Oracle underscore target. Step two, I created the tables. Step three, I loaded the data into my tables. And then I entered into my target. Okay. Then I created all my target tables. So once these activities are done, I left from the Oracle. Then I came into Designer. As this person, he already created the repositories, but I created my own folder for my user or my developer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then within that folder, I captured all the structures, sources, and targets. Okay. This is what I did till now.
Are these tables in the source and targets are the same which we created in the Oracle database?
Yes, it's same.
Okay.
I just took the structures from that Oracle. That's it.
Okay.
Just structures. Don't think that I took the data.
Okay, just the structures.
Just the structures. Okay. When the data will come, whenever you execute the job, then only the data will come.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, if I see, I can see all the tables here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You remember we discussed about the dimensions, facts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the sources, you don't see those many things, but dealership, product cost. But in the target, dimensions, facts. Basically, we are going to create a star schema. Okay. And it's kind of in a small data mart. And you remember, like we discussed about the staging layer where we clean up the data. So these are the tables where we clean the data. And these are the tables where we load the descriptions. These are the tables where we load the facts. So this is what our target basically. By end of this course, by end of this lab, what we are going to build, we are going to build a star schema and a data mart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is what our ultimate goal from this training. You are able to understand it, right?
Yeah.
We have three tables and we have a couple of facts and dimensions and some staging tables. We're supposed to build a star schema. That is what our goal.
Okay. What are tables you are having here? You have data in these tables now?
Yeah, we already created the data, right?
Okay.
So in the source, we already created the data.
Yeah, but you were saying just now that we should create an Informatica also, right?
Okay, let me rephrase my statements. Okay, what I'm saying is right now I have a couple of tables. Okay, these are called data mart tables,
Okay.
and I have my couple of sources. Okay, like dealership, product cost. These are only structures. Whatever I'm showing you here, all are structures. But bottom line, when I'm building a data mart, where I'm building this data mart? Basically, I'm building an Oracle database,
Yeah.
not in Informatica. In Informatica, I just took the structure.
Yeah.
Even if I say 100 times also, I'm loading the data, that means I'm loading the data into my Oracle, not in Informatica.
Yeah. That was I'm asking you
Yeah.
why you need to load a data into Informatica. Once you said
No. I am using Informatica to load the data into data warehouse.
okay.
Okay. I am using Informatica to load the data from dealership table from Oracle and into dimensional customer in Oracle. These are only structures, or just you can think as a pipes.
Okay.
Okay. So to connect the source, dealership source, I am using a pipe over here. That's it. And I'm connecting the dealership pipe to dimension customers.
Okay.
These are only structures. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. Don't worry. I don't want to push so much now to confuse. So once we complete our mapping, then you'll understand. Right now, think we have only structures. That's it. Okay. And all of our sources are on database only.
Okay.
Okay. Let me write a couple of queries so that you'll understand. Okay. Before going to that, I would like to show you another thing. Where we are. Okay. Lab content, right? So let's open the class contents. These all are the things we're supposed to perform, and these are the slides which are used, okay, to perform your labs. Or like,
what are labs?
Lab means like when I'm doing a practical thing, that is a lab. That is what I'm saying as a lab.
Okay.
Okay, so lab means it's not a theoretical part to discuss. We have to do something.
Okay.
We already discussed all these concepts. ETL, the story of the ETL, when it started, and what is its data integration.
Yeah.
Basically, you need to remember one thing. This is kind of a data integration tool. Informatica is a data integration tool. There are like a couple of tools like on ETL side, like Data Stage and Ab Initio. So these are all tools, but like right now we are learning Informatica Power Center. Okay. I believe we all discussed this thing, right? There are a couple of sites. So I don't want to go again on these things. But like you need to understand these few things. Like, of course, we already seen this, but still, I would like to give a proper definition. In the designer, basically, what you are going to build, you are going to build a structure, okay, where that structure will transform the data. You load the data into a target. But where exactly you are going to build that structure? What exactly you are going to call that? You are calling it as a mapping. So, what is a mapping then? A mapping is a collection of source, target, transformations. Okay, it's a collection of sources, targets, and transformations. So the ultimate outcome from your designer is a mapping.
Okay.
Does it make sense? Okay. Now the next is transformation. We already seen this practically also, but still as a theoretical way we are discussing. Even transformations also a kind of an informative object which will be used to generate the data, or like which will be used to transform the data based on your business logics. Okay, basically there will be like two kind of a ports. One port is kind of a coming into your transformation, one is going from your transformation. So whichever is coming into your transformation is called input port, whichever is going out is called a output port. Okay, So basically, the data will flow through your transformations. So whenever the data is coming, like you are going to call it as an input port. Here, the employee ID is an input port. But in the same way, employee ID is connecting to this filter transformation, the next transformation, right? The bottom one. When you are connecting that to the next transformation, then it is called an output port also. So here the employee ID is coming in, some data is coming into this employee ID and going out. That's why it's called input port as well as output port. It's only coming in, it's not going out, then it's called only input port. There are scenarios only the port will go out. There won't be any data, but just the data will go out. That's called output port. Okay, don't focus much on this. It's a day by day you're going to do this thing. So you'll understand when you're doing the things.
Okay.
These are a couple of transformations which are like kind of a core for your Informatica. Okay, so these are the core. If you learn these things, I mean, you are good to attend any kind of interview. Okay, just make sure you practice all the scenarios on these transformations.
Transformations is which we connect to the source.
Exactly. If you look at this, the mapping, there is a source, there is a target. In middle, there will be transformations. Okay, so when the data is coming from source, the first transformation, default transformation, is a source qualifier. We already seen this. That responsibility of that transformation is converting the data into Informatica understandable format. Okay, I'll discuss this later, but for now, just think source and target and transformations. The transformations will perform an activity of a transform. Okay, there are a couple of transformations. So maybe like we cannot discuss about the Java and the midstream XML generator, because like these are like a kind of a license oriented ones. Okay, so unless you pay to them, Informatica, they won't allow you to use. But trust me, it's very rare to use these things. Okay, in the Informatica, this slide, the 12th slide is very important. If you perfect on these things, then you're good. I won't say you cannot look into the other things, but focus on these things first before going on to anything else.
Okay.
And even we have seen the task, session task, command task, email task. So we are going to discuss anyway. Even we haven't seen like a workflows. Even we executed the workflows.
Oh yeah.
Metadata. I gave like a lot of examples on metadata, but in our scenario, what are the metadata? Source, target, okay, mapping, maplets, everything is a kind of a metadata where they are going to store in a repository. Okay. Perfect. Now we are going to the next slide. Basically, this is what like the first transformation. Jay, can you give me 2 minutes?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know where I am. Is this your mission or my mission?
This is my mission.
Okay. I cannot control anything. I don't know why. Okay, now I got it. Okay, so I'll be back in 2 minutes, okay? Jay, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, can you share the screen again? I believe like you close that.
No.
Okay, perfect. So we are discussing about the first transformation, that is source qualified transformation, right? So whenever you are talking about transformation, the basic thing you need to remember is a transformation is used to convert the data, okay, or like modify the data, or a transformation can be used to extract the data, or a transformation can be used to load the data. So whatever the operation a transformation is doing, so based on that operation, the transformation name was given. So first transformation is a source qualifier. So what is the basic property of a transformation? It will perform some kind of an operation on the data. But what this source qualifier is doing then? Basically, the source qualifier is extracting the data from the source. That source can be a relation table, or that can be a flat file. So if it is a relation table, basically it will create a SQL statement. Okay, by internally the logic, okay, whatever the logic is needed to get the data, that logic it will build. So what kind of a logic you can build on the database or like a table? SQL. So if you want to access a table, you need to build a SQL, right? Who is doing that? This transformation is doing that. That is one of the activities. There is a basic and major activity where source qualified transformation is doing when you are interacting with the relational objects. It means tables. And coming to the transformation, you need to understand there are two different kind of a transformations. One is active transformation, other one is a passive transformation. So very important, active transformation, passive transformation. What is active transformation? If, for example, if I am passing 100 records to my transformation, but my transformation is delivering only 50 records. Out of 100, it's capable of delivering only 50 records or 60 records, or it's capable of delivering like a more than 100 records, like a 150. Such kind of a transformation is called active. If your transformation is delivering more than the records than what it's getting, or less than the records, whatever it's getting, then such kind of a transformation is called active. In what scenarios it's possible? For example, if based on my transformation logic, whatever the logic I'm using inside of the transformation, my logic is decreasing the count of the records. Ultimately, for example, I'm using a filter in my source qualifier, like all the employees who belongs to California. Then the employees who are working in other states will not pass through the transformation. Only the employees who are working in California only passes through the transformation. Such kind of a transformations are called active transformations. To put in a simple way, if I am passing X records or N records from a transformation, if my outcome should be N, then it's called passive. But if my outcome is N minus 1 or even N minus X or N minus Y, whatever it is, if the count is changing, okay, if I'm passing N, but the result is not N, then it's a active transformation.
Okay.
Now, the next thing. So, in what scenario we'll use a source qualified transformation? For the flat files and for the relational objects. So, you need to understand one more thing here. What is the other use of this source qualified transformation? Basic intention of this source qualified transformation is extract the data, but the secondary, the second property of this source qualified transformation is this transformation converts the data types. Even we have seen this. For example, in your source, what is your source basically here? It's an Oracle, right? In your source, the data type, okay, first of all, you know what is the data type?
Data type, yeah.
Okay, so in your source, if your data type, if employee ID is a number, right? So was a 101, 102 is a number. So, but when it comes to Informatica cannot understand what is number. Then what this source qualified transformation will do? Okay, let me convert it. Then the way the Informatica can understand it. Informatica can understand only decimal. So,
Excuse me. Okay.
Whatever you are saying in Oracle as a number, that is having the same meaning in Informatica as for the decimal. And whatever you are saying varchar in Oracle, the same meaning in Informatica is a string.
Okay.
So who is taking care of this conversion? your source qualified transformation is taking care of that conversion. Okay, so whatever the data types are there in your source and target are called native data types. Whatever the data types are there in your transformation are called transformation data types. So your source qualifier will take the responsibility to convert the data types into, to convert the native data types into transformation data types. We already discussed the naming conventions and the velocity methodology. Anyway, velocity methodology means what kind of a conventions you are supposed to give for your namings and what are the best practices. Basically, we are following that. Okay, so when we are developing the mappings, you will see that. This is one of the example and what we are going to build now. Okay, so basically there are like a different kind of dimension tables. If you look at this, okay, it's kind of a data warehouse. Instead of calling it a data warehouse, we can call it as a data mart. Okay, so as we discussed earlier, data mart and data warehouse both will have same kind of an architecture. Only difference is the volume of data. Here they are calling it as a Motus data warehouse, but what I'm calling it is a data mart. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, we have like a lot of target tables. Even we have seen this thing, right? So we supposed to build this thing by end of our labs. Okay, how many facts are there? Fact sales, fact promotions, fact inventory, fact product aggregate daily. These are the facts which you are going to derive from by using like a different kind of a dimension tables. This is what our intention to perform these labs. How many phases are there in this project? Okay, assume like we are doing a project now. There are like two different phases. The first phase is loading the data into staging area, and from the staging area you need to load the data into data warehouse. How many labs are there? There are 20 labs. Lab 1 to 7 you're supposed to load the data into staging. Lab 8 to 20 you're supposed to load the data into data marts as well as dimension tables as well as a fact tables. That is I'm calling as a data warehouse. You understand this? Okay, I mean this is what the basic intention of this whole project or like this lab. Okay, so you need to understand this clearly. In our scenario, what are the sources? There are like a couple of flat files and relation tables. How many relation tables we are having? 3 relation tables. Okay, and we need to bring the data into staging area. We are having like multiple tables on staging area. Then we're supposed to build this data warehouse. And this is what the sequence. First, designer create the task and run the workflow, monitor the results, and preview the target data. This is what our first lab. Okay, what is our lab? Source to target, but source to staging area. But what is our source? Payment data. What is our target? Stage payment. Okay, what kind of a mapping is this? It's a pass-through mapping, means there is no logic. Just dump the data. Whatever the data is there, just dump into that. Okay, remember this terminologies. Pass-through mapping means there is no logic. Now let's go to your Informatica and we'll try to build one mapping today. Now, what is your source? Payment data. What kind of an object it is? Flat file. But do you have any payment data on your source? No. So we need to get that first. Where are your flat files? So extract to flat files. First, look at the data. Before building any mapping, try to understand the data thoroughly. Without understanding the data, don't even think of doing a mapping. Okay, because first thing is you need to understand the data. What are the columns? See, what are the columns in this and what are the records? Payment ID, payment type description, 205 lease, 210 cash, 215 bank draft, 220 loan, 225 others. So how many records are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 records are there. Okay, what are the metadata here? Payment ID, payment type description. This is what I'm going to load it. And remember one more thing. What kind of a delimiter used to separate the fields? Comma. Okay, comma is a delimiter to separate each and every value, right? Okay, by using comma only, they are separating the values. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's the reason it's called a comma delimited file. Okay. There are two different kind of files. One is a comma delimited file. Other one is a fixed width file. I'll show you the fixed width file when we are doing a lab. But for now, it's a comma delimited file. Now, I need to get the structure of this payment into my Informatica. How?
Comma separated file. Both are same. Comma delimiter and separated.
See, comma is a delimiter.
Okay.
Okay. Or instead of saying like delimiter separated file, then again the confusion comes, right? Is it a comma or semicolon? What kind of a delimiter you're using?
Okay.
That's why it's a comma separated file.
Okay.
Now, my intention is to get that source, right? Now I am having so many sources, and this window is kind of a confusing for me because there is no space for me to work on. What I'm doing is never ever delete from the source analyzer and target analyzer designer.
Okay.
Problem is if you delete from here, that's it. You're going to lose the structure.
Okay.
What you can do is right click, clear all, so that your screen will be clear, but it won't delete. But if you physically delete it, if I select it and put on the delete, press on the delete, that's it, it's gone. Okay, so don't delete. Now, I need to get the flat file, right? Import from the file. See the option. Till now, we were only doing on the databases. Now we are doing on a file. Where is my file? On desktop. Lab content, lab files, flat files. So there are no DAT files. So select all files so that you can see them. What is your file name? Payment, right? Okay. Now it will saying, see the question. Choose the file type that best describes your data. Is it a delimiter or fixed width? Which kind of a file it is? Delimiter. Okay. Now, what is the source name? Payment. Okay. Better give it in a proper way. This is only the name you are giving. Okay. This is not the file name. Okay. You can give any name here. You need to remember one more thing. In the file, we already seen we have a metadata and then the data, right? What I'm saying, import the field names from the first line. Means the first line, whatever is there, those are the field names. Okay, or column names. Don't consider that as a data because that's a metadata, right? It's not a data. It's a kind of a column name, headers. That's why you start import at row 1. Okay, so if I select this option, it will turn to 2. See, now I lost that header.
Okay.
Because that is going to be a structure. See, now we'll see. Again, it will ask, do you want to do anything? No. First column name, payment ID. There are only 2 columns. Next column is payment type description. Even if you want to change, you can change it. Even if you want to change the data types also, you can change it. But I don't want to do anything. See, now I got the structure. Even here also I got the structure, not the data. Try to understand. My source is done. Now I am getting the target. Again, clear all. I need not to get any target because target is already there because I already got all those targets. Now, what is my target?
Dim payment?
No. First, we are going to staging, not the dimensions. Staging area, stage payment. So, where is the target? Stage payment here. Okay. Before creating the mapping, first try to see that structure. How many columns, how many fields are here? How many fields? There are 2 fields. What kind of an object is this one? Oracle. Okay, payment ID and payment type description. And if you look at this, what kind of a object is this? Flat file. And there are 2 things, payment ID, payment type. And compare the data types also, number, string. Here, number, varchar. So varchar and string both are same. Okay, now start building the mapping. Go to mapping, create, always starts with M underscore. What exactly you are building? Stage underscore payment. What I can give is just load. Okay. Now I got my source, that is payment, And you need to observe one thing. Whenever I get a source, this is the first transformation which comes along with the source. And the purpose of this is converting the data types into informatic understandable format. Okay. And next thing is I need to get the target. Stage underscore payment. So payment ID, payment ID, payment type, payment type. Okay. When I'm connecting this, it's called a input port because it's having input port as well as an output port. So if you open this, you can see in the ports, this is input, I means input, O means output. So this payment ID is an input port as well as an output port. Okay. Precision means there are only 3 numbers are allowed, or like it's kind of a 3-digit number is allowed. The precision. Description, only 10 characters are allowed. If there more than 10 is coming, then it's going to reject the data, or the data will be truncated. Okay. See, here the data is coming as 10 characters, but in the target it's 20 characters. What will happen if you are getting more than 10 characters? It will truncate it because it don't have that much capacity to hold that data. Okay. So this is what my mapping. Save it. Now I'll go to my workflow manager. Now create a task s underscore m underscore stage payment load. I need to map the mapping now. Okay, or associate that mapping. Done. Now my session is ready. But what I need to do, I need to configure this, right? I need to provide where is my source, where is my target. So before going to that, first of all, I need to create some connections. So what are my connections? Let's take Oracle. It's kind of a new connection for me. Kind of a Oracle underscore source. Okay, and next thing is Oracle underscore target. And password also same. And I believe that string is XC. Close. Now I need to configure. Jaya, are any confusion or any questions?
What is that XE?
XC is your database name.
Okay.
And even I'm not sure, but because that's what I saw when I'm creating the driver, because he created the driver, right? So that's what I observed. But anyway, if we get any errors, we will re-look into that. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what is your source? Is it a flat file or is it a relational object?
Flat file.
So you need to mention that path. Where is your file? It's a delimited file. Okay. 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 Perfect. This file is perfect. This is a delimited file and even the property is also delimited. But where is that file? What is the location of that file? You need to mention that path here. In my scenario, my files are here, right? Flat files. And remember one more thing, this name is a problem because there should not be any space. Okay, let's take it as a flat underscore files. And make sure your the file name is correct or not. Payment, P-A-Y-M-E-N-T. Okay. Now I need to have this path. This is what my path. And this is what P-A-Y-M-E-N-T. And the last .txt is the extension. You should have that. Okay. Now I'm going to my target. What is your target name? Oracle underscore TGT. Always make it as a normal. Apply. Okay. Now we're supposed to execute this session, right? So go to workflow. What I'm doing is I'm creating the name as stage load. The next step is I need to link this session. We already did this multiple times. That's why I'm going a little bit fast. Stop me if you have any questions.
Okay.
Okay, now I connected. Basically, I created a workflow, and whatever the mapping we built, we associated with a session task, and we configured that session. We provide the source path, we provide the target connection, and now I'm executing this. So where you can see that in the monitor. So this one got succeeded, but we cannot say this one got succeeded until you see the data. How many records was there in the source? You remember? There are 5 records, right? In the file we have seen it. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Now even on my target also I need to get 5. Okay. So how you are going to validate it? You're supposed to test it. So I'm going to take out everything. Select star from, what is the table? STG underscore payment, right? This is called unit testing. Now you need to open your flat file also and then validate it. Oh, sorry. Flat files, payment. Sorry. Opening with a WordPad. See, 205, 210, 215, 220, 225, lease, cash, bank draft, loan, other. Make sure you have the same kind of data or not. 205, 210, 215, 220, 225, lease, cash, bank draft, loan, other. Right? Whatever the data is in source, the flat file, I load it into the Oracle. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And this is what one of the uses of the source qualified transformation. And there are a lot of properties in source qualified transformation we are going to see in tomorrow's class. Okay. So please practice the same thing what we did today and take this folder. Okay, VR604 as a kind of a staging folder for you to practice.
Okay.
Okay, do the same thing. Whatever we did today, just do the same thing. And you can do whatever you want. Even if you delete also, no issues. Okay.
So should I delete all this in this VR file 60, this business component and all?
No, why you need to delete basically? I mean, by mistake also, if you delete also, no issues. That's what I'm saying. But like, I'm not asking you to delete.
Okay.
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 Okay, Jaya. So maybe tomorrow and day after tomorrow, I won't be available. On Friday evening, I will be available. Okay.
Friday, right?
Yeah.
3 days.
Yeah. And call me. I'll be available in the phone. Okay. Call me anytime if you are facing the issues.
Yeah. No, you just this source payment, right? Storing this
Mm-hmm.
from source to staging to somewhat.
Stage payment load.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In real time, do they give you some requirement or what to do?
Oh yeah, the same kind of thing they will give you.
Okay.
See, but like it's not this much descriptive, but they will give. I'll show you. I have like one of the design document. I can show you that.
Yeah. Means here they gave you source from source to staging area. So I'm asking about the real time. They give me the same thing to do it.
Exactly. So maybe they will call it as a design document. In the design document, they will say, okay, these are the staging layer and this is the kind of a source layer, and you need to populate and into so and so table. Okay. Then while populating, if it is a pass-through mapping, you need not to do anything. But if there are any logic, then it's going to be difficult.
Okay.
Right now, there are no logic, right? Just whatever is there, just putting it. But if any logic, then for column to column, see, for this column to column, they will write a logic. Okay, we'll see all those things, okay, maybe in the next lab. But for now, maybe next 3 days, you need to be used with this tool. You're supposed to be pretty quick in opening the things and dragging the things and connecting the things, everything.
Yeah.
Okay, Jay? And call me, Jaya. So anytime if you have any questions, so we can have like a 5 minutes quick call, and then I can explain you and I can help you. Okay.
Okay. Can you share this video as soon as it got
now itself, like
yeah.
I'll do it. Okay, Jay. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Just I had one question. So you said you'll help me in resume and all, right? So మీరు రెజ్యూమ్ చేస్తారా లేకపోతే మీరే రెజ్యూమ్ చేసిస్తారా లేకపోతే ఎట్లా?
నేను ఒక రెజ్యూమ్ టెంప్లెట్ ఇస్తాను మీకు.
ఓకే.
ఓకే, సో మీరు ఆ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ యూజ్ చేసుకుంటా అంటే యూజ్ చేసుకోండి. ఓకే, బట్ లైక్ యూ నీడ్ టు ప్రిపేర్ ఆన్ దోస్ ప్రాజెక్ట్స్. జస్ట్ ఐ విల్ గో త్రూ all the roles and responsibilities and everything. Coming to the project, I cannot explain you about the project, right?
Yeah.
So project functionality I cannot explain because I never worked in those projects.
Okay.
So, but what I can do is I can explain the roles and responsibilities, and what I can do is like I can explain you other tools what we used, because it's not like just Informatica you will put in a resume. You will put like so many tools. I can explain all those things, but like the functionality of the project client, you're supposed to put it. Maybe the projects whatever your husband is working, so you can put those projects.
Okay.
But the roles and responsibilities I will explain.
Okay.
Just like ఏం లేదండి, అది ఎలా అంటే స్టోరీ అనేది మీ ఓన్ గా చెప్పేసేయండి. బట్ ఆ స్టోరీ అనేది ఏ దాని మీద చెప్తున్నారు అనేది మీరు బిల్డ్ చేయాలా. అప్లికేషన్ యొక్క లాజిక్ అనేది మీరు బిల్డ్ చేయాలా. బట్ ఏ స్టోరీలో అయినా కానీ మన రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీస్ అదే. ఈటీఎల్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ ఏం చేస్తారు అనేది కామన్. బట్ యాక్చువల్ గా మీ క్లయింట్ ఏం చేస్తుండే అనేసరికి దాని ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్ కొంచెం డెప్త్ గా మీరు అర్థం చేసుకుంటున్నారు. అది ఒకవేళ కార్తిక్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ లో ఉంటే కార్తిక్ ప్రాపర్ గా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయగలుగుతాడు. సో అది దానికి కొంచెం టైం పడుతుంది. అది అంత ఈజీ కాదు. మీరు యూనిట్ అండర్స్టాండ్ ద ఫ్లో. యాక్చువల్ గా ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఏం చేస్తుంది, దాంట్లో మీ రోల్స్ అండ్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీస్ ఏ విధంగా ఇన్కార్పొరేట్ చేసుకుంటారు. ఓకేనా? నేను ప్రజెంట్ నేను రెజ్యూమ్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసినప్పుడు మాత్రం ఆ రెజ్యూమ్ లో ఉన్న ప్రాజెక్ట్స్ కొంతవరకు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేయగలుగుతాను. సో దట్స్ వాట్ ఐ కెన్ డు.
అదే మీరు నాకు రెజ్యూమే అండ్ ఇంటర్వ్యూస్ కి హెల్ప్ చేస్తారా? అంటే మనీ ఏదైనా పర్లేదు.
తెలియదు జయ, అంటే అది ఏ విధంగా హెల్ప్ చేయాలనేది నాకు, ఎందుకంటే వాయిస్ అనేది కష్టం కదా. సో
నో నేను ఇంటర్వ్యూ నా సొంతంగా నేనే ఇచ్చుకుంటాను. జస్ట్
షూర్ యా వీ కెన్ థింక్ ఆఫ్ ఇట్.
యా జస్ట్ రెజ్యూమే అండ్ ఎక్కడైనా ఓపెనింగ్స్ ఉంటే మీరు ఏమన్నా హెల్ప్ చేయడం, రెఫర్ చేయటం అలా ఏదైనా ఉంటుందా?
యా అంటే ప్రెసెంట్ అయితే మాకు ఒక 3 టీమ్స్ తో టైప్ అయితే ఉంది.
ఓకే.
బట్ కాకపోతే నాకు మీ బే ఏరియా సైడ్ అయితే కాంటాక్ట్ లేదు. ఇక డాలస్ అయితే ఐ కెన్ హెల్ప్ యూ, బట్ స్టిల్ లైక్ డజంట్ మ్యాటర్. వాడికి తెలిసిన నెట్వర్క్ కూడా ఉంటుంది కదా. సో వీ కెన్ పుష్ ద రెజ్యూమే.
ఓకే అదే Okay.
Okay, Jaya. Bye-bye.
Bye.